Welcome to the latest episode of Social Proof Media, navigating entrepreneurs and marketers through the ever-changing world of digital marketing. Stay tuned for discussions, strategies, insights, and solutions for building your business online. Now, here's your host, influencer, speaker, author, and digital marketing veteran, Nik Maguire.
Welcome everybody to this first episode of Social Proof Media. This new podcast aims to bring you the latest and greatest in everything to do with social media marketing and digital marketing, as well as having entrepreneurs join me here on the yellow chair to come and discuss with you how they grew their businesses online. I really want this to be a repository for you to listen to and to really keep up to date with how social media and digital marketing can help boost your business as you move forward. So I should introduce myself. My name is Nik Maguire. I head up Social Proof Media, which is a digital agency based here in Manchester. We focus very much on social media marketing for business growth, and that means looking at trying to get returns on all ad spent or return on investment for any campaign. So really, unlike creative ideas or creative marketing, this is all about where the money is and how we can use digital marketing and social media to set us free from our jobs, build our dream entrepreneurial business, or take our business that we've got already and use digital marketing and social media to grow it even further. So please make sure that if that's you and you want to learn more about the latest techniques for business growth and digital marketing, that you hit the subscribe button to this podcast. I have got some fantastic guests lined up and some real insights. The aim of this podcast will be to provide you with insights that you can go back and implement straight away, from the latest in what to do on Facebook, Messenger, Instagram, what we're doing on YouTube and video, how you can look at your niche and grow your niche and build sales funnels to get greater conversion. And we'll be talking to the experts and people that have done it. So I am delighted to launch this podcast for you right here at the beginning of 2019. So in this show, what I really want to discuss with you is a little bit about what we will be doing and what guests we've got coming, and then really to take a summary of 2018, what changes there have been in social media and digital marketing, and then where that's going to project us forward in 2019. I'm passionate about this stuff. I've been a digital marketing veteran for 20 odd long time, and I've done things from mobile apps, Bluetooth proximity marketing. I've worked with some of the largest brands here in the UK, from Telefonica, O2, Pizza Express, Rightmove, great businesses here in Manchester from some of the largest groups of independent hospitality chains, right through to small to local business. And it's the small to medium business where I'm most excited right now about seeing growth. And so what has happened with Social Proof Media is that from the last 4 or 5 years, I've been working with video and video influencing, set up my own influencer pages right here in Manchester, as well as working with many, many businesses and getting results for them through digital marketing. So what this podcast aims to do is share with you exactly the best practices, what's been working, what doesn't work, and getting the inside track on what pretty much has become a combination of both a marketing, branding, and sales technology. And I think so often it is missed that social media is not seen as a way of getting lead generation, of doing much more with your sales force, with your customer services, as well as just marketing and being out there. So there's lots of noise out there, and I'm really hoping that this is a podcast that you can relate to. So please do, again, make sure you subscribe to this podcast, because next week I have got an incredible guest for you. This gentleman has successfully run and sold businesses over the decades. Not only has he done that, he has an incredible weird way of marketing that is out left of the field, out of the box. He has bought a football club. He took a small league football club and it plays in the Champions League at the highest level of football. He has won records. He has sold businesses to major telcos, and not only that, is continuing to work in incredibly large businesses over in the US now, where their sales pipeline is in the billions of dollars. This is a big fish for my second episode, and I'll tell you more about it at the end. So let me just tell you what the content of today is going to be. We're going to really talk about 2018 and what it's meant for the social media world and what big changes there have been. And it really has to focus very much on Facebook. You know, Facebook has been really the first of the social media platforms. Obviously, there was MySpace, Bebo, others, but that really became the big one. As you all know, it's touched all of our lives and communities. But since the Cambridge Analytica scandal, it has really changed. And so previously, advertising on Facebook, really getting detailed targeting on your demographics and your audiences was a really simple and easy task. You could throw a couple of £100 at an advert and you would have incredible reach, highly targeted. Obviously, after the algorithm changes, there have been significant moves in Facebook to try and protect themselves and protect their clients from data breaches, which of course has continued to happen. So as they get legislated more, as they're changing their business model more, so it's for us that have been using Facebook predominantly amongst other platforms as a way of generating new business and getting cold audiences to convert into customers, then it's been a big change and a big challenge. And I think 2018, a lot of people have moved off the platform. They found that the cost per acquisition, the CPM, was just too much, and that what they were previously trying didn't work. But for me, that's good news, right? Because what that actually means is there's slightly less competition now when it comes to some of the ads. Yes, you have to get smarter when it comes to your audiences, and you will get stung if you get bad responses to your ads, if your bounce rates are very high off ads, and Facebook will punish you and that relevancy score will drop. But if you really know what you're doing and want to be brave, Facebook is still an incredible platform for growing businesses. And so what I will be sharing with you over the coming episodes of the podcast is exactly how to do that. And don't worry if some of the terminology I've said has passed you by, if you're just new at digital marketing. This is going to be a platform where I want this to be a two-way discussion. We will respond to you. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram. I'll give you those details. And we can really help work with you to educate and provide you with more details. In that vein, I have a book launch that's happening at the end of January, and details will be below, called Beyond PPC. It's groundbreaking strategies for lead generation, digital marketing, for when PPC fails and pay-per-click fails. And very much I believe that if you have exhausted PPC, which is a great way of dealing with inquiries when it's at the bottom of a sales funnel, when you finish with PPC, where else do you go? And certainly alternative strategies around these new and emerging platforms of not just social media, but the social network itself and the social web are really good places for you to start to find new audiences and get growth. So I'll obviously plug the book a lot more, and I'll give you a free chapter of that if you're interested on the link below. But certainly 2018 has been a time where any digital marketer or entrepreneur online has really had to battle with the changes. Right here in Manchester, which you may be able to see, it's getting a bit dark out there. We've had our own victims of this. Unilad was the largest publisher in the world, actually, in 2017, and they, went into administration and were purchased by Lab Bible. And it shows that it's just not that easy. And for those of you that perhaps have been on social media for a while, 2015 onwards, organic pages, posting regularly on your blogs and your updates and getting your social media up to date would get you seen, and you had a good chance of those messages moving forward. But actually, in February 2018, when things really radically changed with the Facebook Analytica then just organic posts were not enough. And people like publishers like Unilad really got stung, whereas they would see millions of organic views. They literally dropped off a cliff overnight. So we've had to adapt very much. And for me, that has been the overwhelming story of 2018. Data, legislation, and what is going to happen. And it requires us to be savvy marketeers and entrepreneurs in order to ride the waves. But it also creates incredible opportunity. And as everybody's running away from the tsunami of change on Facebook, some people are running back and doing really well. And certainly on a local business side, we are just getting fantastic results, certainly with the integration of Messenger and Messenger bots and in, different sort of sales funnel techniques using Instagram stories. So the clients we're working with, we're going to be sharing with you over the coming weeks the best practice of how that's been working.
Has your pay-per-click stopped performing? Then Beyond PPC is for you. In this book, host Nik Maguire outlines alternative strategies on how to increase your online success. Just follow the link in the description.
So for me, that's been a highlight. The other highlight is LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a B2B dream. If you're selling services and B2B, you may have been using LinkedIn for some years. You may have had a LinkedIn page, but most people are still not getting the opportunity when it comes to LinkedIn. LinkedIn has a developed campaign manager now. They've launched video ads earlier in 2018. And so now you can build really impressive sales funnels. And I personally have built some very large sales funnels in 2018 for B2B services, certainly software as a service client and service-driven clients. And if you have a particular professional niche that you want to go for, then LinkedIn is brought an incredible opportunity. It's also brought some challenges, and it's required marketeers to have to be smarter, because unlike the auction systems around Facebook or Twitter, what LinkedIn does is it recognizes its value, that if it's getting you connecting with a CEO of a mid-sized business in agriculture or engineering, and it's your target customer, then they are charging more. So the CPM in LinkedIn, for those of you that have been marketing there for a while, is usually quite high. And therefore, your ability to split test and to be wasteful on split testing, to burn the bad data quickly, has proven to be quite expensive. But when LinkedIn pops, and if you've got a sales force out there that are doing outbound sales, or maybe your PPC has dried up, or maybe your lead sources are getting too expensive or difficult to qualify, LinkedIn is a phenomenal place for B2B marketing. But you better be ready to have deep pockets. And so for the SME, it still proves somewhat challenging. But LinkedIn, another one of my highlights for 2018. I would say that the third of my big pieces of news for 2018, and one that's really been overlooked so much, is Spotify. Spotify has become pretty much the largest music streaming service. It integrates with digital assistants and home speakers. I'm trying not to say the name so she doesn't go off right there. But the digital devices such as Amazon and the Google devices have meant that people have got more access to streaming media than ever before. I mean, if you've been here to one of the parties, or you've been to your own parties, you will know that most people now start arguing over who's going to organise the playlist. But what Spotify have done with that huge audience of attention is they've enabled marketeers and advertisers to open up that platform. It's been around for some time, but the tools have made it much more accessible. Just for a few $100s, you can get in there and start running ads. And what's amazing about Spotify is if you've got the right product, you can start targeting people in certain niches with your product whilst they're listening. If you're in the gym sector or the health and fitness sector, you can target people listening to motivational music or workout playlists or certain artists. If you're selling food, you can hit people listening to romantic playlists and dining playlists. If you're into yoga and meditation, You can hit people listening to meditation music on there. So your ability to target by people's artists or the music that they listen to is great. And in the coming episodes, you'll hear of some examples of how Spotify marketing is really opening up sales funnels in a whole new way at a very reasonable CPM. So for me, the data scandals, the LinkedIn opening up, the Spotify opening up have been real highlights. And then I would say that the other little highlight for me is Twitter. Yes, Twitter. Maybe people fall in and out of love with Twitter. They are obviously having to fight for what they do, but Twitter does a number of things. And one innovation particularly I absolutely love. But Twitter is still proving very good for conversation. It's proving very good for customer service and PR and those new snippets, as many of you will know. But it's been struggling against the bigger networks, and certainly Instagram has taken a lot of those users. But I still think there's a place for Twitter in the whole mix. But what the Twitter ads side of things is doing is opening up some pretty low-cost opportunities to be able to target people. Now, obviously, with Twitter, it's a lot easier to have fake accounts. There's a lot of mess out there. So actually getting to your actual customer can be a challenge. But one of the things that I absolutely love is their ability for you to place ads based on emojis. And there have been some really creative examples of this. One particular car company was targeting people based on whether it's smiley face or sad face. And then you would get ads playing, video ads playing to you, driving their new car based on how you were feeling at that time. So if you're crying, you get your emoji face driving the car with a happy face to cheer you up next to it. And it was a real innovative approach. But if you're looking at a combination between keywords and emotion through emojis and you're targeting people, well, that's a whole new level of how advertisers can start to reach people. You can now advertise to people based on their mood. And I think that opens up so many exciting opportunities. And I'm sure this will be rolled out to the other networks. So those little emojis, don't just discount them. They could be your key to selling your product in 2019. So these are my highlights, really. And personally, we've seen social proof media here in Manchester grow and boom. And our focus now is going to be on helping for you guys and anyone running their own business, either entrepreneurially or trying to grow it through social media, to provide you either with services or with education and information and really help you get the most out of social media networks in 2019. So that is one of the reasons why I published Beyond PPC as a way of just getting more information out there to people, that there is more than just working with Google and search to help your traffic. And why we are constantly exploring with our clients what can be done around their space and sharing best practice. That's what I'm going to do with you. So this is going to be a slightly shorter than usual episode. I did say that we're going to have regular guests to give you some idea of what's coming up. We have this entrepreneur next episode who has built and sold businesses for the tens of millions and working on billion-dollar projects right now, as well as doing some of the craziest and kookiest marketing that I've ever seen. But it's not for the faint-of-hearted, and you may have a few beeps in there as well, but it's a great interview. I've got interviews lined up for you for people that are working in restricted markets. So if you are looking at establishing this new CBD opportunity, or whether you're working in e-cigs or tobacco, I've got a great interview lined up there. Great interviews around crowdfunding and crowdsourcing. I've got a great group of guys who are making millions in a particular niche, and most of their new product R&D and research is coming out of crowdfunding. So if you're struggling to get that cash for that next business idea, or you're trying to launch a new product, you can listen to the best. These guys haven't just done it once or twice, and they've also had the largest crowdfunding that ever happened in the UK a couple of years ago. So we've got some real experts. I have a influencer lined up, a guy that uses influencer marketing and has built a successful multi-million-pound fashion label based on influencer marketing, and has some real insights, practitionership-based insights on how effective that is. I also have lined up another interview on those of you that want to look at self-publishing. Now, depending on what your angle is, whether you just want to come out as someone that's authoritative, or whether you want to use it as a lead magnet, or to do that sort of key person of influence thing like Dan Priestley would do, I'm going to bring on someone that's really done this, that's made millions out of self-publishing. I'm going to talk to you about it, and also the services that can help you launch your own book, as I have done in January, and seeing the benefits of that for you guys. So there's going to be a richness of guests. I have more in the hospitality sector. I have customers coming on board that are in the health and fitness sector that are going to be sharing their experiences of what they have done running campaigns, working with ourselves over the last couple of years. So I hope this is going to be very rich for you guys. I don't want to witter on too long because I want you to stay. So all I will say is, please hit that subscribe button. That will give all the, you'll get the updated podcasts coming to you. If you want to get a free chapter of the book, it's going to be in the description link here. You can get a free chapter right now, and that will be explaining to you some of the techniques, what I've learned around split testing, and how to get more out of your ads. And we will be back next week. Well, week or month, I haven't worked that out yet. Next episode with my interview with Mike Harris, who is going to be sharing some incredible insights on how you can think outside of the box when it comes to marketing and help grow your business. So whether you're an entrepreneur or a digital marketeer, I hope you realize that Social Proof Media, the podcast, is just for you. And I do hope you hit that subscribe button. And until next time, haven't got a catchphrase yet. Need to come up with one of those. See ya.
You've been listening to Social Proof Media. Subscribe for the latest episodes or visit socialproof.media for free downloads.